We have all heard great rags to riches stories of how people have made it from the brink to real big time and serve as an inspiration to mankind. Haven't we all heard of how Sylvester Stallone had to even sell his beloved dog before he wrote the script of Rocky, and the rest became history? Or for that matter, how J K Rowling was contemplating suicide before Harry Potter happened? Well, life is not always about inspiration. There are many who have had it all, and then blown it all away. The reasons have been many: economic turbulence, excessive debt, wrong bets, and at times, never even having it in the first place. Let's look at 6 such cases. EIKE Batista, one of the richest men in Brazil, was really flying high at one point of time. He started by selling insurance policies door to door to make a living in Germany, before moving back to his native Brazil in the early 1980s. He started a gold trading firm, and over a 20-year period, he created a value of US $20 billion with the operation of 8 gold mines in Brazil and Canada. He then diversified into mining, petroleum, and energy. In 2012, he was listed with a personal net worth in excess of US $30 billion as the 7th wealthiest person in the world. Well, the problem was that his natural resource companies carried a lot of debt. When natural resource prices crashed, so did his net worth, from a peak of $35 billion to less than $300 million, which means he lost more than 99% of his wealth. When a priest suggested to him that whatever he had taken from the sea must be returned in some way, he tossed gold coins worth $150,000 into the ocean as a symbolic gesture. Elizabeth Holmes was the founder and CEO of Theranos, an exciting privately held startup based out of California that was to revolutionize blood testing. In 2015, she was listed by Forbes as the youngest self-made female billionaire at the young age of 31, and her 50% stake in Theranos was valued at $4.5 billion. What's more, she even made it to Time magazine's 100 most influential people in 2015. Well, how the world changes in a short period of time. In 2016, after a series of journalistic and regulatory investigations that questioned the veracity of Theranos' claims, federal prosecutors began criminal investigations for potentially misleading investors about the company's blood testing technology. Holmes was banned from owning, operating, or directing a diagnostic lab for a period of 2 years, which is under appeal. The next year, Forbes revised her net worth from $4.5 billion to nothing. Aubrey McClendon, an American businessman, co-founded Chesapeake Energy, serving as its CEO and chairman. He was an outspoken advocate for natural gas as an alternative for oil and coal fuels, and was considered a pioneer of fracking. He was also a part owner of NBA's Oklahoma City Thunder franchise. At the height of Chesapeake's soaring stock price, Aubrey's net worth was estimated at $1.2 billion before the stock imploded. On the 1st of March 2016, Aubrey was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of conspiring to rig bids for purchase of oil and natural gas leases in Oklahoma. The next day, Aubrey died in a fiery car crash, sparking speculations of suicide, but was later ruled as accidental. With Chesapeake's debt soaring from $1 billion in 2000 to $13 billion in 2010, its stock fell more than 90%, and its filing for bankruptcy is not out of the question. History has often shown us that taking big risks and running up massive debts can be crippling, but it has also shown us that people rarely learn from history. VIJAY MALLYA may not be a household name in the Western world, but he is quite well known, now notorious, in India. He was the wealthiest liquor baron as the former chairman of the largest spirits company in India, and his group had other business interests in aviation, real estate, and fertilizers. He co-owns Force India, one of the F1 racing teams, as well as one of the cricket teams in the Indian Premier League. He was reported to have a net worth in excess of $1.5 billion at one point in time before his pet project, Kingfisher Airlines, piled up huge debts and losses and went out of business. MALLYA lost a large part of his fortune due to massive debts and lavish spending. MALLYA was known for throwing lavish parties and rubbed shoulders with celebrity movie stars and cricketers. When the airline he founded could not pay its debts, banks and authorities started turning on the heat, and MALLYA fled the country in 2016 and is currently living in exile in the UK. His passport has since been revoked by Indian authorities, who are seeking his extradition. Bernie Madoff was a stockbroker, investment advisor, financier, and former chairman of NASDAQ, one of America's premier stock exchanges. And by the way, did I also mention that he is the biggest fraudster of all time? He founded his Wall Street firm Bernard Madoff Investment Securities in 1960 and was its chairman until his arrest in December 2008. His firm was one of the top market makers on the street. On the 10th of December 2008, his sons told authorities that their father has confessed that their asset management business was a massive Ponzi scheme, describing it as one big lie. His firm was always under doubt, as its returns were way higher than market averages. But he managed to keep the lie up for a fairly long time. Essentially, it was nothing but a fraudulent operation, where earlier investors got returns from the money invested by new investors. Madoff was estimated to be worth around $17 billion before he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 150 years in prison. The extent of his fraud? A cool sum of $65 billion. Patricia KLUGE made her billion with the least amount of effort. All she had to do was divorce Metro Media founder John KLUGE, the richest American at one point in time, and got her billion as a divorce settlement. Raised in Iraq, Patricia started off as a nude model for her first husband at the Knave magazine. She met John KLUGE on a trip to New York and married him in 1981. They divorced in 1990, which is when she hit the jackpot settlement. She made poor investments and racked up millions in debts as well. Her real estate ventures lost significant money when the 2008 housing crisis hit hard. Unable to service her debts, she had to either sell or auction most of her businesses. Some properties were also foreclosed by banks as she defaulted on her loans. The key failed investment was a vineyard in Virginia that was picked up by a smart investor at a fraction of the cost she spent on it. His name? One Mr. Donald Trump. Patricia finally declared bankruptcy in 2011. Before ending, let's salute another billionaire who is also losing his massive fortune on a daily basis. And consciously so, because he is giving it away to charity. Warren Buffett, who is heading Berkshire Hathaway for more than 50 years, is worth $70 billion and is the third richest man in the world. Buffett pledged in 2006 to give away 99% of his wealth to charity, with much of it going to the Gates Foundation. Reportedly, he has already given away around 30% of his fortune and gives away several $1 billion annually. The world definitely needs more businessmen like him. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can see the bell icon below. Please click on it to receive notifications of my future videos. I will see you soon, and thanks for watching.